Hello, and thank you for joining us today in our studies of the 5 single chapter books of the Bible. We're going to spend the next couple of weeks looking at these 5 books, and they're distinctive in a number of different ways. The fact that they are only a single chapter lends to their brevity, but they all have very important messages that they are going to bring about. Today, we're going to begin looking at the only one of these 5 books that is found in the Old Testament, and that is the book of Obadiah. As far as background information on this book, we don't know a whole lot. We don't know exactly who the author is. Obadiah is a very common name among the people of Israel. And so, because of that, we don't have any real information within the book or even outside of the book as to exactly who the author is. There are a lot of suppositions and a lot of guesses, but that's all they are. We also don't know the exact time of the writing of the book. There are 2 different dates that are often given for the book that are separated by 300 years or so. One in the late 500s BC and one in the mid 800s BC. And while one date or the other might seem to be the most likely of the group, the latter date often being held as being the most likely, you have a situation where there's no absolute means of knowing for certain given our removal from the time of its writing. What we do know is this: the book is written not to the general audience of Israel from the standpoint of its purpose, but rather it is a writing against the people of Edom. Now, the Edomites are the descendants of Esau, the brother of Jacob. So they are, in essence, the cousins of the Israelites by means of Esau. Because of that, there is a relationship that has constantly been the case from the time of the formation of these 2 nations, and yet it has most assuredly been a conflicting association. Very rarely have the Edomites and the Israelites been on the same side of anything. And so, this particular message in these 21 verses of the book of Obadiah is to the Edomites. So, without any further ado, let's read the book of Obadiah. Beginning in verse 1, we find these words: The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord God concerning Edom: We have heard a report from the Lord, and a messenger had been sent among the nations, saying, Arise, and let us rise up against her for battle. Behold, I will make you small among the nations, and you shall be greatly despised. The pride of your heart has deceived you, you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, you who say in your heart, Who will bring me down to the ground? Though you ascend as high as the eagle, and though you set your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, says the Lord. If thieves would come to you, if robbers by night, oh, how you will be cut off. Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers had come to you, would they not have left some gleanings? Oh, how Esau shall be searched out, how his hidden treasures shall be sought after. All the men of your confederacy shall force you to the border. The men at peace with you shall deceive you and prevail against you. Those who eat your bread shall lay a trap for you. No one is aware of it. Will I not in that day, says the Lord, even destroy the wise men from Edom, and understanding from the mountains of Esau? Then your mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one from the mountains of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers carried captive his forces, when foreigners entered his gates and cast lots for Jerusalem, even you were as one of them. But you should not have gazed on the day of your brother in the day of his captivity, nor should you have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, nor should you have spoken proudly in the day of their distress. You should not have entered the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Instead, you should not have gazed on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. You should not have stood at the crossroads to cut off those among them who escaped, nor should you have delivered up those among them who remained in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord upon all nations is near. As you have done, it shall be done to you. Your reprisal shall return upon your own head. For as you drank on my holy mountain, so shall all the nations drink continually. Yes, they shall drink and swallow, and they shall be as though they had never been. But on Mount Zion there shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. The house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. The house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. But the house of Esau shall be stubble. They shall kindle them and devour them, and no survivor shall remain of the house of Esau. For the Lord has spoken. The south shall possess the mountains of Esau, and the lowland shall possess Philistia. They shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria. Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captives of this host of the children of Israel shall possess the land of the Canaanites as far as Zarephath. The captives of Jerusalem who are in Sepharad shall possess the cities of the south. Then saviors shall come to Mount Zion to judge the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Here in the book of Obadiah, you have God's judgment against Edom. Next time when we come back, we will look at some of the lessons that we can glean from this particular book and look at some of the ways that God is utilizing this not just for Edom, but for the children of Israel as well. I hope that you'll come back and join us then. But until then, have a great day.